And everything seems to be going well. Hello everyone. I've been giving it some thought, and I think I'm going to record some of myself playing Dark Souls 3 Cinders. Let me just double check to see that everything is good here. Okay, no, not Realtek audio. Microphone. Okay. There we go. Just wanted to make sure that the audio was working properly. I'm going to be playing the game of Dark Souls 3, running the Cinders version 1.91. Now, I previously tried to live stream this, and it didn't go all that well, so let's just pretend that none of that happened. So, the Cinders mod. They added a lot of stuff. Okay, well, sorry about that. My mom came down here to do an errand, and she, made a teeny bit of noise, but aside from that, everything's fine. So yeah, this new version of it added some new classes, like the Jester. You start with the Jester set, Pyromancy Flame, Alec Infused, Key of the Embedded, which apparently scales with Alec in this game, which is cool. And they start out with the Pyromancy, where they basically spit out a huge chunk of shit onto people. And they also have the Summoner. You don't start out with any weapons, but you do start out with the Tome that lets you summon entities to fight with you. I'm gonna go back to starting with the Skeptic from before. Just because I think that this is a good job with a good balanced set of stats. Burial gifts, nothing too crazy. They added some new notes that let you start out in different areas, like the Ancestral Note lets you start directly in Firelink Shrine, Cultist Note directly at Archdragon Peak, Waterlogged Note at Farron Keep, the Dusty Note sends you to the Catacombs, Irithyll of the Boreal Valley, Irithyll Dungeon, the Consumed King's Garden, Lothar Castle, Cathedral of the Deep, the Painted World, and the Dreadkeep, and the Ring City proper. So, that's some good stuff. I'm gonna start out with anything that's too crazy or too game-breaking, so for right now, I guess I will start out with... I don't want to go with anything too crazy with the Master's Keep. Maybe I start... I'm going to start with the Fire Seeds. Or maybe... I don't know. Why do they give us such crazy stuff? I'm going to go with... I'm gonna go with 3 Titanite Shards just to see if I can, upgrade some of my stuff starting out. I'm going to play this as, should I go person, or should I go man or AT, or man or AT? I think I'm gonna play as a woman. Why not? Okay, for her name, let's name her Sophia. Since, who knows, being a woman of the faith who turned away from it, she seems like someone who's very knowledgeable. And let's get this going. Just let me close some windows here. Just make sure that I don't lose any frames. And here we go. Here we go. Here we are in the Cemetery of Ash. Okay, just gonna double back and see that there's anything here that I missed. Now, I don't know if you guys remember from last time, but there is an NPC around here. As well as some insane lock rate priests. But there's an NPC here. He is the Sword Master. From the vanilla game, the Sword Master was in Firelink Shrine over by the tower. And in this version of the Cinders mod, like in the version I played previously, that live stream that didn't go all that well, they moved him to this part of the cemetery bench. You kill him and you get the Master's Attire. Master's Attire has a set bonus where if you collect all, where if you wear it, it gives you more dexterity, which is all good. Thankfully, if I equip it, I have just enough dexterity to properly use the Uchikatana. So that's fun. Not that I don't love the mace, it's an awesome, hard-hitting piece of work, but this thing I prefer because, especially for the boss against this area, especially against the boss of this area, Corrupted Gundyr, this allows me to die. No, just kidding. It allows me to do some decent, fast, hard-hitting damage. Well, the good thing about this is I can start back with a little issue. They changed up how some of the equipment works, so like the Corrupted Talisman that I have. Before it had just the normal Unfaltering Prayer weapon art, and in this version they changed up its attack so that its ability causes this to happen. Basically a dark version of the Firestorm Pyromancy, or of the Earthquake ability. That's cool. Don't really see how there's going to be much practical use in that, but hey. Don't want to get torched in the mouth and all that. Good piece of equipment's a good piece of equipment. And hey, the spells that I have in this moveset are pretty good too. So yeah, and I think another change they made, which I'm kind of feeling mixed about, but all in all I think it's for the best, is that I think they changed, the guys who made this mod, changed up how the, Heretic staff works, where instead of being able to cast all magic, now it casts hexes and sorceries. I don't know if it's going to be like how hexes worked normally in the game, where it's segregated by magic type. Like in this game, they have, like in Dark Souls 2, there were hexes that can be used with chimes and hexes that can be used with staves. So I don't know if Bai can cast sorceries and hexes, if they mean that it can still cast all hexes but only sorceries, or if it can only cast sorcery type hexes. That's going to be quite the conundrum. But hey, we'll find out as I reach Firelink Shrine and try to come into contact with the Grey Ford and Lillian. So for this, I'm going to see if I can blitz my way through the Untended Graves and hopefully make a decent way around Lothric's castle. I mean, not Lothric's castle, the high wall of Lothric. God help me if I try to access that hellhole in the early games. But yeah, I'm glad that I went with the Uchikatana, not to say that, that something heavy hitting would be bad for this area, but I think a faster weapon would do me good against the boss. And hey, if Corrupted Gundyr gives me too much of a bad time, I can always just work to Firelink Shrine. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to try to give this 3 goes. And I have 2 embers, so I shouldn't have that much trouble getting to him. But I'm going to do this. Gonna rest up. Going to try to do 3 goes at trying to get Gundyr. If I can't beat him within 3 goes, I'll just return to the shrine. And yeah. Basically with Cinders, they added some of the more crazier things in Dark Souls 1, like being able to level up at bonfires. They also kind of did all that, but made it a bit crazier, where instead of just being able to rest up at bonfires, you can also level up at bonfires like in 1. And they also gave you the capability of crafting items from it. I think that the way the crafting items goes is that it's like giving up more ash to the Shrine Handmaiden, where the more you unlock, the more she can ask, the more she can make for you, and the more she can make for you, the more conversely you can also... The more she can make for you, the more conversely you can make at the bonfire. Basically, crafting and sacrificing items is basically the exact same as selling items to the Shrine Handmaiden or to other merchants. And I hope that they didn't change up the one-to-one transfer of items in this, where the amount that you get, the amount that, for example, with soul items, in Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and in Bloodborne, if you were to just sell the items, you would get a different amount of souls back than you would popping that item, significantly less. And by popping, I mean using. The reason why I call it popping is because the guy, and here I am acting it out in real life, even though you guys can't see it. Like, the reason why I call it popping when you use an item is because the undead, or the Ashen One, in this specific context, would grasp the item in his hand and then crush it. And I always like to imagine that it makes a little popping noise, like popping a water balloon. Anyway, coming up here is Gundyr. You know what, let's see how I can do without trying to do some of the more cheesy shit. Let's see if not cheesy shit. Why do I say cheesy shit? Well, it's just a normal part of the gameplay. Yeah, since Gundyr automatically starts out, Corrupted Gundyr anyway, starts out automatically plus of humanity mode. That means that he's very vulnerable to slash attacks. That's why I personally like Katana. Yep. Okay, I killed him as he killed me. Hopefully that counts. You died, and so Corrupted Gundyr. Air, fire, destroyed, and all that wonderful shit. Okay, so that still counts. Good. Good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go back, get my souls, kill the enemies. Now that I've got everything back, let's put this back on. Increases my faith, which is good. Not to say that the Morningstar is a bad weapon, it's just that with how aggressive his moveset is, I would rather beat the MF down with a faster weapon so that I can compound hits more easily than use, say, a heavier hitting weapon that has a greater amount of poise, like this hammer. Not to say that the hammer is bad, far from it. The mace is a very good weapon. But, you know. You know, Sophia sponge tanked that pretty well, what with her taking a flaming bolt from a crossbow to... I can only imagine that hit her not her pelvis, her sternum. God help me that I somehow managed to get the sternum confused with the pelvis. I need to take a deep breath and I need a drink of some cold water. But alas, I can't get any right now because I am recording. Oh well. So, for right now, this first part of it, I'm going to go run around through all the different parts of Firelink Shrine. And then I'm going to go and run around through part of the High Wall of Lothric. Maybe try out the Curse of Attraction. Hopefully I don't lose that many frames. Bit of a tangent. Well, a massive tangent, but I will say this. I love the Open Broadcast software, OBS, or Open Broadcast Suite. It's such a good program. Like, I know that at this point it's basically just been a meme, but honestly, I find it so amazing that so many people in the past were using unregistered hypercams instead of just using OBS. Even I, for some time, tried to dabble in screen recordings, and my first choice was, of all things, Bandicam. And then I realized, and then I did some research, found out that OBS existed, and I was like, yes, please. I was like, yes, please, more of that. I would love some more of that, good sir. Because I love open source software. I've always held to the belief that having open source software that you pay for is perfectly fine. Because the free part of open source applies more to free speech than free food. So I always enjoyed, I'm perfectly okay with people charging money for open source software. Since, with the nature of the software being that it is open sourced, you have much more liberties when it comes to messing around with the guts of that program, where if it's closed source, you do not have that ability at all. So I've always held on to the belief that if it's open source, they should charge money for it, because you are utilizing more parts of the program than just the front-end utilization of it. No, yeah, over here is a Black Knight. Okay, well, going to the really see if I can get those souls back. I was gonna say, do I have the Censuring Palm on my main hand or my right hand? Maybe it would be cathartic to beat that knight to death with my fists. Soul of an Unknown Traveler, that's all good. What item did I get as my burial gift? I believe it was Tightening. So now, one thing that I also really like about Cinders is that starting out, you get a greater selection of weapons that you can purchase from Andre. Good. Here we get the Plank Shield. I prefer the East-West Shield, to be honest. Now I look like the Nun's Priest from Canterbury Tales. If the Nun's Priest were armed. Never understood role-playing games giving clerics a warhammer. A staff I can understand. A baton I can also understand. But I mean, a warhammer seems a bit much. Let's see if I can pull off a weapon against this guy. this game. Forgot trying to call the Black Knight and ignore my snorting. I will have to edit that out. Let's see, I'll just put a timestamp for... I'm going to put for like 22:30 to 23:20, or around that range. So I can edit out that snort, that massive snort that's probably going to eviscerate your eardrums. I have a habit of snorting when I laugh. Jesus Christ. Try being all fancy with the weapon art, and the Black Knight just smashed me in the pelvis. I can only imagine that the death of that weapon would have been brought on from more force trauma as opposed to laceration. Maybe some combination of both. I don't know, man. It's funny that they have swords and what is called sneak damage. Somebody came down here. Okay. And there we go. My dad came down here to check something. I don't know if what I did was legal. Like, I took the background of the little bumper that they have in Streamlabs. So I basically took the bumper and I changed the color of it, not like for any nefarious, oh, that way I don't have to pay royalties or some shit. No, it was strictly for aesthetic reasons. I just thought it looked better this way. And now I worry if what I did was illegal. I honestly hate fighting him. Maybe I could try a different weapon. Maybe I could try poking him to death with something. Could try that. I could also try maybe sniping him using the nibble spell I have. Which is simultaneously a cute and kinky sounding name for a spell. Cute in the context of, like, say, a small animal like a dog or a cat nicking you. And yeah, I'm not going to go into any detail about the other definition. I will simply leave that up to your imaginations. Maybe I could have better luck sniping him from a distance utilizing my magic. Or at least this weapon gives me a ton of poise. Maybe I should have picked an assassin. Okay. Let's see if I can just... Oh, no, still coming after me. Okay, look at the bright side. At least I got my souls back and I managed to get it from a much more manageable area. Always look at the positives. Always look at the positives. What are the stats on this job again? 10 luck starting out with. Well, it would have been cool if, since this job is a mix of a dark build and a bleed build, considering the weapon that she has on hand. Yeah, that makes sense. Just, you know, be completely unfazed and completely face tank something as traumatic as a spear hitting you in the face. And, you know, act like as though that's perfectly normal. Again, my souls are in a much more manageable area, so I'll just go over there, get them back, forget that the Black Knight exists. Because I don't even remember how I was able to kill him the first time. I think I just... Use that back up. And yeah. If you guys hear any high-pitched yapping, that's my chihuahua. I think he is play fighting with my dad right now. My dad's probably somewhat annoyed by it. Anyway, we're back in Firelink Shrine. I've lit the bonfire. This wonderful platinum blonde madam is the
bonfire, unkindled one.
the firekeeper.
I am the firekeeper. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones. To this end I am at them. Ashen One, sovereignless soul. I will show Ashen One.
And this sad sack over here is Hawkwood the Deserter. And he also has a covenant.
And it'd have us seek the weird, don't you think?
He's the leader of the Dragon Remnants Covenant from Dark Souls 2.
What a sick asking up talking.
Which is cool. You also have this guy who's new to this version. Acolyte Gridor. I don't know how the hell you pronounce his name. He can reinforce your focusing crystals, which takes the place of the Ashen Estus in this game. He also sells items, including a spellbound throwing knife and a spellbound bomb. Basically, the way those work is that you throw them, and they're kind of like the what is it called? The Mausoleum Guardian Shiv, or whatever the hell that thing is from the DLC. It's basically an infinite throwing item. And this woman is a Shrine Handmaiden. She sells stuff. Stuff I don't really care about.
Ashen One.
This is the guy that we came for. Andre of Astor.
Well, I am on as a humble suit. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I wager. Like me, I am a smith.
This guy rocking the full bear aesthetic. I approve. From him you can learn the call over gesture. He can reinforce, infuse, repair weapons, reinforce the Estus Flask. But most importantly, he sells weapons in this version. A lot of very good stuff. And when I say a lot of very good stuff, I mean it. Look at the sheer selection. He also sells crossbows, which I may or may not get. Also sells the blacksmith's hammer that deals fire damage in this. For me, however, I'm going to go with Woodpick. And the battle axe, why not? And might as well reinforce it since I have a greater amount of souls. Let's see, 164 plus 46, 145 plus 54. So these two deal about this. Actually deal slightly more damage. 1d8 and 48. I'm gonna go with the Warpick. The Warpick and the axe.
Pretty be careful.
I know, you don't want to see your work squandered. War pick is a little bit like that. Basically a thrusting type hammer. So, good. This Mr. Bones gentleman here is a skeleton. And over here we have the curses. For me, I'm gonna go with the Curse of Attraction because it causes more enemies to come my way and allows me to get more souls. I kind of enjoy the added challenge of having more and more enemies come my way and basically just swamp me. So it's all fun. And for right now, I'm going to try to explore a little bit of the High Wall of Lothric. First things first, I'm going to talk to this man here, the Cordon. For whatever reason, there's a chord here that has a number.
All that and I am look not in the world of Isa. Knowst that far the aim so I'm knowst far aim so I'm.
Yeah, you can transpose. He allows you to do soul transposition where you can get some pretty decent items from bosses that you have killed. Writhing Hammer. Needs Soul of the Deacons of the Deep.
Treat the Firekeeper not with she is much like thee. Prisoners both.
And yeah, this guy over here is Magnum Ursus, another person who's just rocking that bear aesthetic. Much more literally than Andre's case. To claim the Relic of Insanity, you must kill... Okay, what about the Relic of Power? Without dying at any point during your journey, you have failed. Oh well, can't get any of those relics. I think those relics add to your base stats. Not like I care. He sells tomes. The tomes basically allow you to refight bosses. Before I leave, I'm going to check the upper area of the shrine. If I can move, that is. Yeah, one change they made is that they got rid of the gate here, so you can just travel up here. And there's a Handmaid's Ladle carryover from Dark Souls 2, it increases your base stats in this game, and also... Okay... I would not mind wearing Dark Edge. So it increases your base stats as well as functions as a hammer. A hammer with pitiful damage starting out, but gains more and more damage as you continue onward. And over here we have Greyboard and Lillian. Well, you are a rare visitor. Welcome to the Cemetery of Ash, Ashen One. If you seek the power of the dark arts, I may be able to help with that. Watch your back out there. Don't underestimate those hollows. They may be mindless, but their blades still cut deep. And she has no more dialogue, so... Okay. Let's learn some dark arts from her. Black Flame Scatter sounds good, but so does Black Fireball. I'm gonna get Black Fireball. And I'm gonna see if the whole hex thing means that it could work with all hexes or just with miracle type hexes. Because I mean, if it's just with miracle type hexes, then it's all good. But if not, then I will have to change it. But thankfully, since the mod developers removed the gate, you can just climb up here like normal, if you got the key, and just do that. Here you have a psychedelic elixir. Seems to be infinite use. I'm gonna pop it right now. Basically, the way the elixirs work is you pop it and it changes your color to match the phantom of different covenants. The psychedelic elixir causes you to phase between all of them. So, yeah, that's cool. My apologies to anyone who has epilepsy. Just don't focus on the lady with the big hat. Here we have the Estus ring. Good piece of equipment. Increases the amount of health healed from your Estus flask. Hidden area. Go down. Over here, I believe one of these chests are locked and the other contains armor. Dashmaster string. I believe this one is locked. Requires forgotten key. Don't know what's in there. I think it may be one of the covetous rings. Okay, let's attune. Let's put Dark Fireball in here. Let's see if it works. Oh god, I thought for a minute I hit Magnum Ursus. Okay, that's good. That's good. So, when they say hexes, they mean all hexes. The case with any equipment of this type, so that's good.
Ah.
Then, can I get this? Yes, I can, but then I would need to level up. I don't have enough intelligence. I have almost enough intelligence. What a sad joke.
Ashen one.
But let's not focus on where we could be, let's focus on where we are. How do I get rid of that strobing effect? Takes on the appearance, okay. Take on the appearance of an eccentric phantom. Okay, yes, I see all of that. But what I want to know is how we can get rid of it. Sacrifice the abyssal fragment, I get a decent amount of souls that way. Since remember, the pilgrims of the dark, I can easily farm that shiz back up. Either way, let's continue to the High Wall of Lothric. All I know is that with the curse I have on this place is gonna be fun. And by fun, I mean annoying. So let's at the very least see if I can make it to the second bonfire of the area. Or, you know, explore the entirety of this place. Truth be told, I just want to get as far as to get, Grey Rat. Because I don't know if this place is harder. Because I think the progression path differs. Status, okay. Doesn't show up there. Screw it, for what it's worth, I'll sacrifice one of the abyssal shards that I have. And I will level up. Going to increase my intelligence by 1. Oh wait, I don't have enough to even level up with that. Never mind. Never mind, I'll just stick with what I got for right now. So yeah, High Wall of Lothric. They changed up the starting area from before. I, for one, really like the war pick. Reminds me of the church pick from Bloodborne, except not as giant. You gotta love how the dogs can just teleport through time and space. Just gotta love that. let's get rid of that elixir. Hopefully it wears off. One thing that I like about being a member of the Pilgrims of the Dark, since I have this covenant on, I can basically farm ad nauseum. Reinforcement material that sells for a pretty good amount of space. When does this wear off? Does it wear off? I hope it wears off, because this is honestly starting to annoy me. Is this what it feels like to take LSD, PCP, and MDMH all at once? Just kidding. I have a feeling that if Sophia tried to take all that shit at once, she would probably simultaneously overheat to death and suffer from an aneurysm. Great axe wielding hollows. You're annoying. And also deadly! I hate it when weapons have like that huge ass wind up to their attacks. I want to always see what would happen if I were to increase the audio just a teeny bit. Hopefully I can get back all that shit that I lost. Funny how the battle axe is one non-upgraded. Seems much better in stack. Try to stay positive. I can easily farm that amount of souls back up, and I can easily farm up a decent number of the fuse materials that I can use to get back that amount of souls and then some, so, you know, not the end of the world. At least that's what I'll tell myself to keep saying. You gotta love how the dogs with arrows stuck in them can apparently warp through space-time. Oh yeah, I forgot, there's a Covenant leader in the shrine that's a gigantic rat that I will name Mickey. The dogs in this game are basically quantumly entangled with you. Just gotta love it. What I just did cheesing them. I mean, cheesing an enemy, because cheesing an enemy means that you utilize some kind of exploit to make the fight just like ludicrously simple. Which I did not do. Because we waited at a relatively safe distance. At the very least, I got back, I think, half of the total amount of souls that I lost. And I got another abyssal fragment. And hopefully by the time I finish the chunk of this place I'm gonna go through, I have enough to level up with. Keyword in that is hopefully. Yeah, with the focusing crystal, I think it's called. Yeah, focusing crystal. Basically, you lay on the ground, meditate for a bit, and regain all of your lost FP. Which is cool. I love the war pick. Where did you come from? More importantly, where did you Answer? I have no idea. But hey, he's dead. That's what's important. No. I know that an invader comes up from here from the last time, but I don't know if she comes up. Okay, yeah, she comes up regardless of whether you're. I could say that's very easy. She has the black bow with her. And now she is dead. Goodbye, dear huntress. That area will warp me to Archdragon Peak. You know, if I end up reaching the bonfire in time, I'll be sure to show you guys what that does. I want to do that right now, though. Because I don't want to lose out on this slight progress that I've made. To call this progress slight is an overstatement, though. Either way. So switching this out for a different catalyst. Come the chance to do so. So yeah, this thing is a pretty freaking good weapon. And I think that this deals enough toxicity. So where it just reduces toxic on getting... Yeah, no, that's awesome. Point blank. Hitting an enemy point blank with this fireball causes toxicity to build up automatically on some enemies, it seems. Yeah, remember what I said about the slight progress? That is exactly what I meant. Well, okay, let's see if I can make it to the next bonfire without, you know, screwing this up. Like, at all. I'm not gonna have much faith in my ability to do so, sadly. Not gonna have any faith in that whatsoever, to be honest. Okay, at the very least, the Dark Pyromancy is enough to deal with these chomping wooders. Oh no, I've reverted to speaking in doggo lingo. Then again, say that, I think the bad thing. Dogs are adorable. I do like how the Dark Pyromancies build up toxicity as you hit the enemy with it. That's nice. This was always really strong toxicity. Or maybe it's that the enemies brought about by the curse are more susceptible to it, with them not being as strong as normal enemies. I don't know. That could have ended badly. I don't know. Should I ignore him? Should I ignore him or should I try to face him off? Okay, he's on the window. Screw it. Let's face him off. Let's face off against him. Okay, that was a very much too close for comfort. I think my balls retracted into my stomach. Anyway. "15 throwing knives. Let's see if I can use them to get the enemy's attention. Oh, I also have a dark miracle. I can also use that sometimes. My question is, why isn't the broken straight sword considered a dagger? Ah, there he is. I was wondering what that was. Anyway. Oh yeah, there's a shiny there that I forgot about. The Cinders set. Increases max stamina. I don't want the best, but hey, at the very least this gigantic ass robe is covering most of it. Maybe I could have named her Miriam, considering the fact that she utilizes the dark arts. But fundamentally is trying to be a force of good, or at the very least I think she is. Good thing about throwing knives, they deal decent damage compared to the base Dark Souls 3, where the damage that they dealt, I can only imagine, was comparable to a... not actually throwing a pebble at someone, like throwing a roasted nut at someone. Like it did no damage whatsoever. Or die. Hey, at least I got my souls back. Hopefully I don't lose them again. This is taking way too long. Maybe I should head back to the shrine and disable the curse. Try out how this area would be like without it. I can chunk her over here. I will not keep tilting any of them today. the reach of this thing. And oh hey, I got 2 Titanite shards and some more throwing knives. I'm gonna use this, just so I get a bit more health and don't even want to know who was able to hit me from all the way up there. Don't want to know in the slightest. Easily puncturing metal armor. I don't know, maybe this has the same thing that some of the scythe type weapons do, where they can reach around shields because of their odd shape. I hope that's the case, because that would be cool. I love how I was sitting in meditating and somehow he managed to win every single strike of that. I don't want to lose those souls. Part of me wants to disable the curse, but another part of me doesn't. You know what? Let's sacrifice. I have 6 of these. Sacrifice 3 of them. Level up and equip a much better catalyst. Much better. I think I killed all those dogs at once. Damn. This thing's powerful. I legit thought that I died from that. Okay. Okay. That is why I wanted this catalyst, because then it can basically have a close-range nuke that can knock enemies into the frickin' stratosphere. I love it. Oh, that's cool! They changed up the model of the pyromancy flame. Now it looks like the Dark Hand. That's actually pretty awesome. Would have been nice if they dyed it purple, but hey. It's still a cool effect. Standard bolts. I'm getting those souls back. god, my PC's really hot. Okay guys, I'm gonna call it quits here, and I'll try to get the souls back, and I'll meet you guys at the bonfire again. I'm going to stop this because my PC, I think, is on the verge of overheating. Yeah, no, that kind of slowdown isn't normal. Okay, well, I'll just stop recording here, and I'll just go back, get my souls, and I'll meet you guys back at the bonfire. See you guys another time. Bye.